Molweni emakhaya. Iyangxola imoto apha phandle sana. Masiyilinde igqithe. Molweni. Molweni emakhaya. Ninjani? Nimoja. Ni grand. Nimoja ni. Nimtebelele. Mastembe kunjalo. Mastembe ukuba kunjalo. Hello everybody. Hello. Hi. Hi. How are you doing today? Today. I hope you're great. I hope you're good. I hope you're awesome. I hope you are doing amazing. Welcome to you and you to African Xhosa ASMR. Kuhlelo lwethu lwanamhlanje siza kube sixoxa, siza kube sithetha ngoMiriam Makeba. Miriam Makeba. Who was she? What did she do? Where did she grow up? Every single thing. We want to know more about Miriam Makeba. In one of my previous videos, someone actually said, hey, did you make a video previously that I probably might have missed about Miriam Makeba? And I replied back and said, hold on, just hold on for 1 sec. Wait a minute. Wait. Mancinge. Hi. Zange ndake ndathetha ngoMiriam Makeba. I never made a video about her, and she deserves her honorary video. And today I'll be talking about African history, African heroes, and today sizakuthetha ngaye Zenzile Miriam Makeba, and her nickname is Mama Africa. Is a South African singer, songwriter, actress, and civil rights activist. She is associated with the music genres Afropop, jazz, and world music. She was an advocate against apartheid and the white minority government in South Africa. Now let's just dive deep into her life. For a bit of background, Zenzile Miriam Makeba was born on the 4th of March in 1932 in a black township of Prospect near Johannesburg. As the only child to her father and the 6th to her mother. Her Xhosa father, Mr. Makeba, was a teacher, and he died when she was 6 years of age. Her mother, a Swazi woman, Christina Makeba, was a domestic worker. She had previously separated from her first husband, and then afterwards she met and then later married Mr. Makeba. shortly afterwards. Makeba Miriam later said that before she was conceived, her mother had been warned that any future pregnancies could be fatal. Neither Miriam nor her mother seemed likely to survive after the difficult labor and delivery. Miriam's grandmother, who had attended Miriam's birth, often muted uzenzile, which is a Xhosa word meaning you brought this upon yourself. There's also a saying which says uzenzile akakhalelwa, which means if you bought something upon yourself that you were warned about and then you insisted on doing it, you shouldn't be crying because everybody warned you about it. Uzenzile meaning you bought this upon yourself. And then these words inspired Miriam's mother during her recovery. And then she got inspired to such an extent that she decided to give her daughter Miriam the name Zenzile. Hence, she is Zenzile Miriam Makeba. The name Miriam is her middle name, and the name Zenzile is her first name. In Xhosa, back during the apartheid era, it was mandatory that everybody has an English name. So most people had English names. But if you'd like, you would also have an English and a name of your native language or culture. So she had a Xhosa name and an English name, like most kids who grew up during that era. When Miriam was 8 years old, her mother was arrested and sentenced to 6 months in prison for selling Uqongqothwane. Uqongqothwane is an African traditional drink, and thus is what Uqongqothwane looks like. Wemahla mini ubumqombothi. Umqombothi, African beer. Okay. And the family could not afford the small fine required to avoid jail time. So Miriam and her mother spent the first 6 months of Miriam's life in jail. By the time of her mother's release from prison, Makeba's father, who had been having difficulty finding work as a teacher, had obtained a job as a clerk at a small Shell oil company in Nelspruit, now called Mbombela. And the family moved along with him accordingly. After her father's death, she moved to the house of her maternal grandmother in Riverside, in a township outside of Pretoria in the Gauteng province of South Africa. She moved alongside her siblings as well as her cousins, whilst her mother worked for white families in Johannesburg in order to support her family. Johannesburg is a neighboring town or city to Pretoria, the city of gold, the city or the land of opportunities, as we call it in South Africa. As a child, Makeba sang in the choir and in an institute in Pretoria. Miriam was forced to get a job as a child after the sudden and unfortunate passing of her father. She had a brief and alleged abusive first marriage at the age of 17 and gave birth to her one and only child in 1950, and she survived breast cancer. Her vocal talent has been recognized when she was a child, and she began singing professionally in the 1950s with the Cuban Brothers, Manhattan Brothers, and an all-woman group, the Skylarks, performing a mixture of jazz, traditional African melodies, and Western popular music. In 1959, Miriam Makeba had a brief role in an anti-apartheid film titled Come Back, Africa. This film brought her international attention and led her to performing in Venice, London, and in New York City. In London, she met a mentor and colleague. Can you guess who it was? It was a singer, Harry Belafonte, who became a mentor and colleague. She moved to New York City, where she became immediately popular. Do you guys know who Miriam Makeba is? Do Americans know who Miriam Makeba is? Just curious. She recorded her first solo album in 1960. Unfortunately, during the birth of her album, she lost her mother, and she had planned to return back to South Africa in order to attend her mother's funeral. And unfortunately, the apartheid government could not let her into the country. So she was prevented by the country's government. And then Miriam Makeba's career flourished in the United States, and she released several albums and songs, her most popular being Pata Pata. She released Pata Pata in 1967, which has clicks in it. Saguquka satibheka nansi pata pata. Yakwazi saguquka. Do you even know how to pronounce that word? Saguquka. Okay. Along with Belafonte, she received a Grammy Award for Best Folk Recording for their 1967 album titled An Evening with Belafonte / Makeba. She testified against the South African government at the United Nations and became involved in the civil rights movement. She then married Carmichael, a leader of the Black Panther Party, in 1968, and consequently lost support amongst white Americans. Her visa was revoked by the US government when she was traveling abroad, forcing her and Carmichael to move to Africa. And she continued to perform mostly in African countries, including several independence celebrations. She began to write and perform. Let's wait, I hear noise. There's a bit of background noise. she began to write and perform music more explicitly critical of apartheid. And then in 1977, the song Soweto Blues, written by her former husband, Hugh Masekela, was about the Soweto uprising. What? Are you kidding me? I had no idea she was married to Hugh Masekela. Oh my God. I had no idea. I seriously had no idea that she was married to Hugh Masekela. That you learn something new every day. I'm pretty sure maybe some of you guys, South Africans, are like, girl, we knew that. Do you live under a rock? I had no idea. I seriously didn't. And then it was about the Soweto uprising. If you do not know what Soweto uprising is and you want to learn more about it, I would suggest checking out this video of mine. Just a bit of background to explain it to you if you don't know what it is. In the year 1976, there was a protest that was led by the youth of that year, school kids. The apartheid government was forcing kids to not learn or use their native languages and to only use Afrikaans and English. And they were being persecuted by the government of that time at school. So the kids were fed up and they said, we can't take this anymore. And they took to the street to protest. And unfortunately, a lot of kids lost their lives during that protest. They were unalived, left, right, and center. And that protest is what is referred to as the Soweto uprising. There's a famous picture taken on that day. It's just a heartbreaking picture. It's a really sad picture. It's a picture of Hector Peterson carrying a fellow school kid who had been shot by the apartheid government police. And that picture is so famous, and it even made Peter himself, Henry himself, famous. So everybody knows Henry Peterson from that picture. That protest took place on the 16th of June in 1976. And now, in order to not forget those who fought for our freedom today, we celebrate every 16th of June each year. And that day is considered a public holiday in order to remember and celebrate the freedom that was given and the fight which was fought by that youth in order to make us free. And that day is referred to as Youth Day in South Africa. On Youth Day, people normally wear school uniforms, young or old, as long as you're still considered as South African youth, which ends at the age of 35 or 36. I'm not sure. I think yeah. And then after the apartheid, which was dismantled in 1990, Makeba was finally free and able to return back home to South Africa. And she came back and continued recording and performing, including a 1991 album with Nina Simone. Yes, she did an album with Nina Simone. And then she also appeared in a 1992 film called Sarafina, which also starred Whoopi Goldberg. 1992 film Sarafina is a musical about what happened during the Soweto uprising in 1976. Miriam Makeba in this film plays the mother and a domestic worker. Her lead, Dr. Uleleti Kumalo, who plays Sarafina in the movie. Miriam Makeba was named an FAO Goodwill Ambassador in the year 1999, and she also campaigned for humanitarian causes. She unfortunately lost her life to a heart attack, which she had in 2008 in Italy during a concert. Miriam Makeba was amongst the first African musicians to receive worldwide recognition. She brought African music to a Western audience and popularized the world pop and Afro-pop genres. Despite her cosmopolitan background, she was frequently viewed by Western audiences as an embodiment of Africa. She was also seen as a style icon in both Africa and the West. So, I mean, I just had to for Miriam Makeba. Don't blame me. Just thank Miriam Makeba for this, because, honey, I had to do it for her. Mama Africa. If this does not scream Mama Africa, I have no idea what will. What will? Absolutely nothing. And then Zenzile made, is there something? Zenzile Makeba made popular several songs critical of apartheid and became a symbol of opposition to the system, particularly after her right to return was revoked. Upon her death, the former South African president, Otatomkhulu uNelson Rolihlahla Dalibunga Mandela, said that, and I quote, "Her music inspired a powerful sense of hope in all of us," end quote. So that is it about Miriam Makeba, who she was and what she did. She's truly a South African hero, without a doubt. And wanted to ask, did you know who she was? Did you know what she did? Let me know your thoughts. If not, what do you think that you do know about her? What inspires you most about Zenzile Miriam Makeba? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thank you if you made it this far into this video. Now I wanna recite her most famous song, which is Uqongqothwane. Uqongqothwane. Together, one last time, very slowly. Shh. Let's just wait for the car. That was a scooter. Okay, it was not a car, it was a scooter. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Together, slowly. Uqongqothwane. Uqongqothwane. Now, this is what she calls the click song, because a lot of people do not know how to say Uqongqothwane unless they are South African, Xhosa or Zulu, or their language also contains clicks. So she goes on to say, in my native village in Johannesburg, There is a song that we always sing when a young girl gets married. It's called the Click song by the English because they cannot say Uqongqothwane. Then she goes on to sing it. It goes like this. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqothwane. Seleqabele gqithapha nguqongqothwane. Seleqabele gqithapha nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane, which she repeats that up until the end of the song. One last time, slowly, so that you can follow with me, okay? Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqothwane. Seleqabele gqithapha qongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Seleqabele gqithapha nguqongqothwane. It's as simple as that. Now, let me say it as I would speak it without being slow. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqothwane. Seleqabele gqithapha nguqongqothwane. It feels like I'm reading it. Okay, let me just say it how I would say it. Igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqothwane. Seleqabele gqithapha nguqongqothwane. That's basically what the song is. Uqongqothwane. Now you want to know, what does it mean? Okay, it says igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane means the path guide is straight forward. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqothwane. The road map is straight forward. That's like the figurative meaning of it. Now, let's be direct, because we know what is called igqirha. Ugqirha is a medical doctor. Igqirha, traditional. So, when you're saying Uqongqothwane, Uqongqothwane is an insect, Uqongqotha. So, Kansiti igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane, I'm saying the doctor of a road is an ant. It's raining outside, okay? It's raining outside. When I say igqirha lendlela nguqongqothwane, I'm saying the doctor of the road is an ant. And then seleqabele gqithapha nguqongqothwane means the ants have jumped right out. Ukuqabela is to climb. Ukuqabela is to get inside or to jump in. So the ants have suddenly appeared or jumped out, or let's just wait for the car. Okay, and then we have that, and then seleqabele gqithapha kuthiwa nguqongqothwane. And then the ants have jumped right out. The ants have suddenly appeared. That's exactly what it is. Why do they sing it at weddings? I have no idea. Why is it about ants and all that? Maybe there's a figurative meaning behind it. And me and figurative or hidden meanings do not gel well together, which is why in English, when a teacher would say, John ate spaghetti, I would like, okay, cool, John ate spaghetti. And then the teacher would go on to say, Now, this is what it means. There was a meme about it, or like a video about it that I saw on social media, and then the teacher would go on to say, spaghetti in this context means this, and I'm already checked out because John ate spaghetti. That's all I know. Like, why? What does spaghetti means? Hardship. Why does spaghetti means he was in a loop somewhere or like tied up with something? No, spaghetti is spaghetti. If you wanted to say they were tied up, they were tied up. So I don't know. Let's get back to Miriam. There's her second most famous song, and it's called Pata Pata. Ukupata is to touch. In Xhosa, uyapata, you touching. Uyapata is to hold. Pata up, which means hold this. Or pata is to touch. In this context, it means to touch, but not to hold. Okay? Because hold can also mean bamba apa, which could also mean touch. Yeah. So yeah, this bamba, this pata, which means touch. So it says the song is called Pata Pata, and then it says saguquka satibheka nansi pata pata, saguquka satibheka nansi pata pata. Hayi yiyo mama, yiyo mama nansi ipata pata. And Pata Pata is the name of a dance we do down way Johannesburg, and everybody starts to move as soon as Pata Pata starts to play. Ooh, saguquka satibheka nansi pata pata, yiyo mama nansi pata pata. The dance keep going all night long till the morning sun begins to shine. Hey, saguquka satibheka nansi pata pata. So a pata pata, you have to touch yourself when you're doing pata pata. Pata pata, pata pata, because it is pata pata after all. What does it mean? What does it mean when you say saguquka satibheka nansi pata pata? Well, unfortunately, it's one of those songs you can't really translate. Saguquka, uguquka is to turn around, to twist, do the twist, turn around, uguquka oko, and then nansi pata pata. Nansi, when I say nansi, I'm saying here it is, nansi, here it is. Here is the touch. Here is the touch. Saguquka satibheka. Ukubheka is to look. Look, there's someone dancing, someone doing the pata pata. Look. So it's one of those songs. And like I always tell you, there's a saying in Xhosa which says, isiXhosa asitolikwa, isiXhosa siluncutu, which means Xhosa cannot be translated. Xhosa is delicious. There's a word I'm looking for besides delicious. What's that word? It's exquisite. Something that's exquisite, like yummy. Anyway, so yeah, that is going to be it about umakhulu, the late Zenzile Miriam Makeba. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video, and I feel like I did a lot of educational videos in my normal voice now this month, and it's time to go back to whispering. Let me know, do you guys like soft spoken, or do you guys like whispering? Let me know so that I can do what you want. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Super thanks. Hit the join button to become an exclusive member of the Xhosa gang. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one.